This is Grizz's workshop. This scruffy-looking mofo is Grizz.
Not an expert, not an exemplar of safety. Proceed at your own risk.
Sometimes you can get staves already disassembled from the barrel, but they are cheaper by the barrel load. There are two ways I know of to take the barrel apart. The first one you see here, whacking the rings off until you knock the staves and the heads loose. The other way I didn't film but wish I had. You can cut the rings off. I used an angle grinder. With the tension in the rings, they pop off with a bang and requires a change of underwear. Once you have the rings off, you'll discover that none of the staves are the same. They bend from top to bottom and warp from side to side differently from one to the other, as demonstrated in these cutting edge graphics. I tried to pair them off so I can have 4 half staves as legs. In order to cut them on the miter saw, it's safer if the stave makes a smile and not a frown, as shown in another graphic. If you do cut it like a frown, there's a real possibility the stave could pinch the blade and cause some kickback. Kickback is bad. After the first cut, however, I can then flip the piece of wood over and do another cut flush. This is my router table. It's made from an old workmate. I'm using it on this occasion to flatten the wide end of the stave so there's a better surface for adhesion. I've tried to show this in this graphic. I have made a simple jig to hold the stave, so only the end was at the right height to cut. I have previously achieved this by using a 2x4 fence on a bandsaw, but didn't get the best results. If you have a jointer, you could use that by only feeding the front through. Just ensure you work safely. The staves are now ready to assemble into what you want. I've shown this before, but I'll quickly run through what I'm doing here. I'm going to drill holes at the top to accept the mount on the base. I had a request for one of the tables to have holes in the legs. I'm trying to do this with a Forstner bit. If you drill from one side till the point in the centre is poking out through the other side, you can then turn it over and you'll get a clean hole on both sides. The base plate is made from square offcuts. I bought them as they are, and then I cut the corners off to make an octagon. On the sides I attached the legs to. I angled them slightly in at the top so the legs would stick out more at the bottom. The legs are normally attached with no problem, but this wood didn't like being screwed into on the end grain. I had to add some dowel to give the screws more purchase. I discovered when I looked online that this is a common problem. Once the base is attached, I need stretchers to make sure the legs don't split, and it gives them considerably more strength. I use a cardboard box to act as a spacer so I can get the measurements and then put it there when I drill them in place, knowing that I can collapse the box and it's easily removed. Stretchers are made with a cross, using a half lap to connect them. Now the base is finished. The flattened end on the stave now needs sanding, as there's a slight step, just to taper it in with the rest of the leg. This is what they'll hopefully look like when I finish making the tops.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Grizz's Workshop.